continue. Start now. Let's go. Start live stream. So we are live now. Let's go. Hello to everyone listening to us. Hope you guys all are having a great day. Today, unfortunately, we are hosting the interview without Red Song. He has to go to the veterinary for his cat. So wish him all the best today. But starting the interview today with Kokomo Games, and you guys have me tomorrow, and it's really a pleasure to have you here. And especially thanks to you for taking this time during such a strong period of time, I would say. But how you're feeling, before the meet, like just one day ahead.
Yeah, no, a little bit tired. Thanks. Hi everyone. And firstly, thanks for having me. Um, yeah, we're a little bit tired. Had some late nights this week, but super excited to kick things off and also to be here because we've been talking for a little while about coming on the show. And so thanks for the invitation and for having me on. I'm excited to talk about what we're building and yeah, dive into all things Kokomo and Kokomons.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually have known you guys for quite a long time. I think like half a year or even more, 1 year. The first time like I've spoken to you guys at Kokomo Games, I think it was 1 year ago. Back then, you guys were building a game on Telegram from, if I remember correctly. But I guess when Ton released those new updates, that if you're building on Ton, you need to be exclusively there. I guess your move was like go to AVAX. Am I right here?
Yeah, no, exactly. So we started on Telegram. Was quite interesting, quite a few interesting learnings, let's say. And when we started, very originally, we were building multi-chain actually because we have one of our angel investors is from he's can't name it for compliance reasons, but layer zero, like we love layer zero. So we wanted to build multi-chain on layer zero. And then basically that meant that we tried out pretty much all the major chains. We did a free mint, which was pretty tough technically to pull off, like the combination of lots of chains and Telegram and so on. Um, and basically through it all, we always just kept coming back to our favorite chain that we just liked
Mhm.
building on the most. And it was always AVAX. And so
Yep.
then actually by chance, towards the end of last year, we kind of got talking with the team. Everyone was super cool. We asked around our advisors and some of our angel investors, and everybody had good things to say about working with AVAX and working in the community. And I think we're all bullish on Avalanche. And so then we just made the decision. Okay, let's go with Avalanche. We were
Mhm.
still on Telegram at the time, and we ran a snake tournament, and we partnered with AVAX on that. And then it was super successful. We had just over 400,000 users come into that. The retention rates were pretty much double what you see in
Mhm.
mobile gaming. So really successful. Then we were super excited to kind of roll out the next version to get into the next stage of beta testing. And then that's when indeed Telegram announced the exclusivity. But we just kind of had to make a decision at that point. The plan was always that we wanted to go cross platform anyway. And
Yep.
really, we had just really been loving the AVAX space. So we just decided to go all in basically. So now we're actually migrating away from Telegram. We're in the thick of the migration. So the
Mhm.
next version we're going to release is going to be web app, but you can still check out kind of some of the functionality that we did have on some of our old Telegram mini apps.
Yep.
We left them up, but just with no blockchain compatibility, just so people can still have somewhere to go to basically. But yeah, moving over to web app, we're going to do mobile app afterwards, and yeah, well and truly on AVAX too.
Gotcha. And what was the first interaction with Avalanche? Like, when did you guys met? And how long ago was that?
Yeah. So actually, one of our advisors and investors is from Gonzilla. He's
Oh,
pretty
nice.
big. in the space that you guys, I'm sure you all know him. Um,
Theodore?
but I actually don't know if he wants to be named or not. But yeah, moving on. The um, it was in Singapore, 2049 Singapore. Actually, I was going to go meet with our advisor, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm at the AVAX event. Come through." And yeah, I just rocked up and I actually kind of bumped into Parker. Everyone knows Parker in the space, obviously, legend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Sure.
we just got chatting. And I just kind of asked, like, what do you guys think about Telegram gaming? What's your mini apps play type thing? And then just since then, we stayed in contact, obviously, and yeah, have made some pretty cool things happen so far, and hopefully many more to come.
Gotcha. And what you guys can share like about Kokomo Games itself? Like, what exactly are you building? When we can check it out right now? Sorry to understand, like Telegram version is still live since you're in the process of migration, so everyone can go and check it out, right?
It's not the full version. It's just like a tester version of our kind of snake tournament model. You can test it. It's just like free to play with in-app currency, like just doesn't know worth anything. But you can
Mhm.
still kind of go there and try it out to get a feeling of how the model works. But yeah, maybe just as a quick intro on us and what we're building. Um, we are basically kind of setting off on a mission to build what we're calling the world's most rewarding mini gaming platform. And so, what that means is that we basically want to take casual, classic games that everybody knows.
Mhm.
We already know they have really good retention, people love them, they're really easy to play. And then we want to take them and then put them into various competition formats. So things like tournaments and 1v1s or even instant win competitions where users can then come and play and compete and earn real money from playing. So the
Mhm.
easiest example is this snake tournament that we ran. It was basically, it was free to play. You come, you enter the tournament. Once you enter, you get as many turns as you want for that day, and then you try and get as high a score as possible. And then basically we were then ranking everyone, and we put them on a leaderboard and pay out prizes based on the ranking. So we're starting with casual
Mhm.
games. Like I said, we're migrating to the web app platform. The plan is to launch it with 10 casual games. And then
Mhm.
after that, we're going to introduce different verticals, because the way that we basically built the tech is that any game that ends with a score, so anything zero sum, it can fit into our infrastructure. So that means we can do
Mhm.
things like sports games or fantasy sports games or predictions or quizzes or literally anything where you finish with a game that ends with a score. So the idea is that then we start with casual games and then we expand it out over various different verticals, and we build it into this kind of you can come and play, and within 30 to 60 seconds you've had fun, you've had a quick dopamine hit, hopefully you've made some money as well. If not, we've got a load of different
Mhm.
structures and mechanisms to kind of incentivize retention and playing again. And then the idea is that we really want to kind of create this blend of almost competitive mini gaming where you mix in these kind of real money competitions as well.
Yeah, talking about the money, by the way, most some of the Wither gamers, I would say most of them in this space are purely for farming rewards. And I guess the question is here, like, how do you retain them? Like, this is one of the first questions. But before going into retention, I'm actually curious, like, what kind of incentivizes do you have in the game in earning, opportunities for those gamers that are interested in casual games?
So one of the things that we want to do is I'm going to go into both parts, but firstly, the way that we're building out the platform, our vision is hundreds of games and millions of gamers is what we always say. And so
Hmm.
to me, it makes sense that that's all tied into a wider ecosystem. And if you look at kind of some similar platforms, there aren't really any that are that comparable in Web3, to be honest. But if you look at the leaders in Web 2, a
Hmm.
large part of what, in my opinion, is not so great with their platforms is that they don't really have any kind of like brand or IP. And that's something that's a lot easier, and you can create more powerfully in Web3 with things like your NFTs, with your token, and really
Yeah.
kind of creating this gamified ecosystem. So the way that I always think about it is like we want to build a platform and a brand and an IP where people would wear the name of the company on the t-shirt and not feel like weird about it. Like, you wouldn't kind
Hmm.
of like rock around wearing your Microsoft t-shirt or something, We want to make it feel
Yeah.
something like Pudgy or Stake did it really well in casino gaming where it's cool. And it
Yeah.
looks cool to have the Stake logo there, or it looks
Culture
cool to have a
thing.
Kokomo logo there. Exactly. And so then that means that the way we're building the platform is that the games themselves are really simple, kind of plug and play. You can, like I said, pick them up and get them, and you don't need to understand the lore or what the character does or do I need this item or anything like that. They're really casual, hyper casual.
Yeah.
But then the kind of layer that we're building on top of that is gamifying the whole ecosystem. So we have things like our NFT collections, like the one dropping tomorrow. We're going to have like an XP leveling system. We have gacha games coming, and it all connects together into this massive kind of wider system on top. So that's kind of where
Hmm.
the real incentive comes. In the games themselves, it feels fun, quick, fast, like almost like playing poker or chess online or something like
Yeah.
that. But then from a wider experience, we're building a brand and kind of this gamified experience too that is kind of where the most of the incentives come in.
Gotcha. And by the way, shout out to everyone who's listening right now. May show reward. Thank you for tipping for boy to every viewer. Rebels hi. One choice on Twitter hi. Really happy to have you guys here today, and thank you for joining the stream and listening. And one of the questions that I have right away, because it's with casual gaming, right? And you've tried out before with Telegram as well. Now you're basically building, preparing your web platform. Have you thought about integrating your casual games into Discord? Because I think like Discord has a lot of upside as well. When people hang out in their voice chat, they're chatting. Sometimes they just want to join voice party and play some games. And I was wondering if you have some kind of plans on building casual game on Discord as well.
It's actually a really good question. We did you like see one of our early decks or something? Because at the very beginning, when we were testing out Telegram, and we were quite early to testing stuff out in Telegram,
Mhm.
we also started testing Discord. Um,
Oh.
yeah, like I
Oh,
wouldn't write it off ever, but the way that I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about it at the moment is that people the whole hype with Telegram was that, there's a billion users, and if you build a game for Telegram, then you're already in the pocket of every crypto user because they all have Telegram already.
Mhm.
And what I kind of, or we actually experienced is um, my friends, my family, my mum. I always go back to the analogy of my mum because
Mhm.
if you think about kind of the casual gaming and demographics, like I want to everything we build kind of makes sense to my mum is always my benchmark.
Mhm.
And she would always be like, "Yeah, what are you even doing? Like, can you explain it?" And when I had to try to tell her, like, okay, first you need to get Telegram, then you have to launch the bot, you have to accept the conditions, then you have to do this, you have to do that. She had no clue, right? And so I
Yeah.
quite quickly, at least my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really buy in so hard to this accessibility argument with Telegram.
Mhm.
However, this is why we decided to go with web app first, because when we were thinking about, okay, should we go web app first or mobile app, there's obviously some tech kind of questions and thoughts to that too. But as I said, I go back to the analogy of like, how would my mom understand it? I can
Yeah.
send her a website and she knows perfectly fine to do it. And if you think about it, every single phone has a browser. Not
Yeah.
every single phone has Telegram or a mobile app or whatever space to download a new one, but everyone has
Mhm.
a browser already. So that's why we kind of went into it. In terms of Discord, then though, we kind of had our moment of relying on another infrastructure and then having to change everything. And so we kind of decided, like, okay, let's build our own infrastructure first. Let's do web app and mobile app. So I'd say like never say never. I think it's a really cool idea. We actually are building a chat feature into our web app and mobile app as well,
Mhm.
so you can kind of be talking trash with people like as you're playing Snake or whatever. Um, but yeah, it's kind of pushed further down the roadmap now. Discord for sure.
Yeah, makes sense, and totally understand that because when you're exploring the games either on Discord and Telegram, there is really a big choice, I would say, and it's kind of hard to get on the top, of all the applications. And by the way, like, do you have some kind of sneak peek of the web platform, or can you share the presentation of the current Telegram game platform so that the viewers can see it? If no, though, no problem at all. Just curious if it's possible right now to check it.
Ooh, um, might be hard. We disable desktop access on the Telegram. Um,
Oh gosh,
let me see.
yeah,
Maybe I can
no problem.
get some screens out of Figma during the call and share them later.
Yeah, sounds great. And where you're searching for it, I was curious. We've talked about this. IP. You're trying to build something like Pagey. Wearable, etc. Um, what about the retention? Because most of the people when they play casual games, well, I've noticed it before. So I actually saw an article from Play Ember. I'm sure you know them because they're probably your competitors. I'm not sure, but they're basically building the casual games as well. And the way they have incentivized in the game is like BTC rewards, some kind of those rewards, and they were talking that like user retention with those devices have increased by 160%, if I'm not mistaken. I think Helica published the research on that. So I was wondering, like, what's the retention on your side? Like, have you tried testing out, without incentivizes, with incentivizes, and how people react to it?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think we're all aware that people want rewards, right? And so for us,
Yeah.
really, the question is, okay, are they willing to spend to get there? Um, when you then look at the Web 2 comparisons, I mean, there are kind of
Hmm.
a handful of big companies that do this, and you look at their numbers. Um, some of them are doing $1 billion of revenue a year in Web
Yeah.
2. And then you kind of consider that the um, incentivization possibilities in Web3 are so much higher. That's where it gets really interesting. And yeah,
Hmm.
no, I fully agree. We definitely saw that you can acquire users a lot cheaper, basically, by using the
Yeah.
right incentives. I mean, we've onboarded over 500,000 users, and our CAC is far, 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 far below
Hmm.
gaming averages, like really, really low. Um, and then when you kind of look at retention, then the question for us was, okay, well, people want rewards. That's obvious. We can acquire them with by offering rewards. That's obvious. But can we make them spend to actually stay and play? And the
Hmm.
thesis is obviously yes, because it works in Web 2. And then our thesis kind of in Web 3 is like, well, look, people punt a load of money on meme coins all the time. Just look at the volumes of pump funds, like, hundreds of billions of dollars. Um,
Yep.
and effectively, that is just a similar sort of thing, right? It's just chaos, but there's no real kind of engine or gamification or rails behind it, as it were, or real structure. And so that's where we want to try and tie things together a little bit. The way that the tournaments basically work is that the more people that join, the more money people make. And the person that finishes first is probably going to make at least like 10, 20x, depending on how big the tournament gets. So we kind of have that middle ground there of the allure of like the meme coin returns. Plus,
Hmm.
we can get people through the door with the different rewards you can offer and airdrops and points and tokens and so on as well. And then we really want to kind of tidy it all together into a little fun, competitive, engaging gaming experience because, like almost everyone in the world has played a game of Snake before at least once. And
Yep.
so then we want to create this like fun competition layer on top, really at the intersection of all of the above. And so we haven't launched the full platform yet, but what we did see during our pilot of the snake tournaments. We ran it for 2.5 weeks. The one that I mentioned that we partnered with AVAX on. We had about double the average mobile gaming or casual gaming retention rates over those 2.5 weeks. It was crazy. Like one guy, he played over 100 games of Snake per day. He played like one or 2,000 games over 2 weeks. It was crazy. So yeah, I think the kind of short summary, that was a really long answer, sorry, is that obviously you get people through the door with the rewards. It's true, it's really powerful. Then how you kind of keep them there and try and monetize on top of that, you got to be smart about it. But we've already seen really strong indicators that
Mhm.
it's really going to be possible. And then that's kind of where
Yeah.
we're positioning ourselves, because we think the Web3 demographic is way better for this kind of a product than it is in Web2. And the product is already working in Web2, but we're convinced we can make our product better because of things like the token and the NFTs and the rewards we can offer. And so our plan is basically to win Web3, using these things to prove that we have a better product. And then from there, we'll go after converting Web2 as well.
Yeah, gotcha. And before like moving and passing the mic to Hammers and Eric, sorry for so many questions because when you talk, I have more and more. Talking about the monetization and product market fit. Are you at this stage yet, or no? And if so, have tried figure out the monetization on the with the users that you have so far, and how they're responding to it as well.
Yeah, we have some pretty simple monetization models that we're pretty confident on. So far, we basically kind of in the stage we're in right now, we haven't launched the full platform yet. But what we did is we ran a
Mhm.
load of pilots and a load of beta tests, and we have a load of users, like lots of them, and we talked to a lot of them too. And so, in terms of product market fit, it's like kind of the the question that everyone's always trying to figure out. Do we have it? But
Yeah.
in terms of various benchmarks, I can tell you that we ran the superhuman product market fit test. If you guys know that one, if not, check it out.
Mhm.
It's like quite a good kind of rule of thumb for this sort of thing. We ran it on our users. If you get around 40%, then it's a good indicator that you have, pretty solid fit. We hit 57%. We ran our snake
Nice.
pilot. It was 2.5 weeks only, but our D1, D7, D14 retention metrics, like I said, were about double what you get in traditional casual gaming,
Mhm.
for our core user base as well. And then we also ran a real money beta test. That was like the last thing we started running before the Telegram and Ton exclusivity. We were planning on running more actually, and we would have marketed it a lot more and got more people in as well. But unfortunately, we had to pull it because of we didn't want to get banned basically, and then we'd lose access to all our users.
Yeah.
But in that beta test, we did real money, and it was just 10 days before we had to pull it down, and we saw like really really strong ARPU numbers. So the three things of those together, I think we're in a really good spot. We've got to launch the full platform. We're going to start scaling it. But yeah, we've had some really really strong indicators so far.
Yeah, I love to hear it, and great results in the retention as well, like compared to traditional casual gaming. Hammer Eric, if you have questions, passing the mic to you guys.
Then, what do you think? How your platform will looks like in 3 months from now, in terms of retention, users, and like TVL of platform maybe or revenue generated? Just do you have these models pre-counted and like some expectations beforehand? Just interesting.
Oh, you want me to start saying all our numbers? Yeah, we obviously had modeled and
Sorry
forecasted
for
things.
numbers. I know that you made a lot of work today, but these numbers can be important for community.
Yeah, quick maths. No, we yeah, obviously we're forecasting it. So actually we're probably man, I'm gonna jinx this and it's the worst thing with dev, but I would say we're roughly 1 to 2 months out of the full platform launch. So the V1 with about 10 different
Mhm.
games. Um, Obviously, the biggest task right now is the tech migration, and then we have to tackle the user migration. Like I said, we had around 600,000 registered users. So we need to now like re-engage and bring them over. And of course, we have been doing various things along the way to keep that going.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, three months from now, we'll probably have just launched the platform. We'll be bringing over some of the users. The plan is also actually that we want to launch our token pretty soon after the platform launch.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, really, we'll have to see. I think kind of the way that the short term is going to go is that we obviously have our PFP drop tomorrow,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
anyone that's been looking into that, we have something pretty cool planned. I'm really excited about it. Basically, we're not revealing the main utility of the PFP until the mint is finished, and there was a few reasons for that. I'm sure we'll get into it, but basically, that utility is then going to connect into. I don't want to drop too much alpha again, but it's going to connect into. We write it on the Twitter. It's going to be good for
Yeah.
people that like being early to token launches, is what we write. And if you're in the AVAX space, then if you know, you know, type thing.
Yeah, we got it. We got
So,
it.
so that will be
What
the next
contract?
phase.
Joke.
Yeah. Don't quote me. No, I'm joking. That'll be the next phase, and then the idea is actually that of all of our users, we have a lot of users that earn points in Telegram. We never really were going to
Mhm.
do a big kind of play to airdrop campaign. That was never the plan. However, we do want to give some utility to those users. So what the plan is actually that we're going to convert those points into free vouchers to play on the new platform when it launches. And then we'll use that to kind of start bringing users over into the platform launch. And then, yeah, like I said, start with 10 casual games. We're going to add more verticals after that, token launch after that as well. So there's a lot to do in 3 months. I hope we can fit that all in 3 months, but that's the rough
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's a pretty
decent.
big plan. Yeah. Wish you good luck on that, and looking forward, to the platform release and other stuff happening after it. Eric, do you have any questions as well?
No, you guys pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I do have some questions though.
Same.
So let's
Can I
talk
add
about the mint
bump?
itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get your mic.
Hold
Talk
on.
about mint, whatever.
Yeah. Let's talk about the mint. About the PFP collection. What you have reviewed so far? What are the utilities that are currently available to people like after the mint? That you have already reviewed. Not alpha information, but public information. And the
Yeah,
supply,
sure.
mint price, the story about the mint itself. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go through the full TLDR, the full background for them. So they're called the Kokomons. They're basically like our little main kind of character of the ecosystem. Um, the way that I kind of describe it is there are three main parts to them. The first thing is, like I said, we are planning this huge ecosystem. Our benchmarks in Web2 are multi-billion-dollar companies. We think we can do it better. So we're obviously super bullish. We think this thing can be huge. And the idea is then that the Kokomons are kind of like the Bored Ape Yacht Club of the Kokomo ecosystem. So they're like our VIP kind of members club. And like I say, going back to IP and brand building, in our kind of big vision, we fast forward a few years. We reach this huge ecosystem size, and people are really kind of like, damn, I really want one of these, and they would be wearing like a merch of it or whatever, like something cool. So there's that. It brings you kind of all these VIP benefits and so on and access and stuff like that. The second part of it is that we want them to actually do something like you're getting at as well on the platform.
Yeah.
So if you actually want to come and play the games and you think you're going to like it, they basically are going to unlock different kind of reward tiers and bonus tiers and boosts and different retention mechanics for you. These will all be built into the platform anyway. Most of them are going to be based on how many tokens you stake. But by having one of the Kokomons, like I said, it's like the VIP access. It gets you the best rates, basically. So if you're going to be playing, if you're going to be leveling up, if you're going to be chasing rewards, whatever, they'll help you. They'll get you better rates. They get you bonuses. They passively earn you like gacha currency and stuff like that as well. So they help you for playing the ecosystem, the games basically. And then the third part is that secret post mint utility as well. The idea there is that we we don't want to just kind of like show a load of things at people. We also wanted to keep the mint very accessible. It's pretty cheap. If you got one of the VIP spots, it's half an AVAX, which, well, just last week ago was like $8, right? So, well, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's pretty
So we
cheap.
wanted to keep it, yeah, super accessible. But the idea there is that, we know a lot of our user base comes from different regions. We also didn't want to price out like other people that want to come and be part of our ecosystem and want to come support us early. So we wanted to keep it super fair and accessible. And that way, then it makes sure that they get to a nice home, they're in the right place, and then as a kind of thank you for that, that's where the main utility is going to come in. So when we announce that, we're hoping it's like a nice thank you for supporting us early on. Like, this is our first paid drop, so good to get people in and say thanks and get the true believers on, basically. And so there are 1001 edition. I don't know why, but we kind of started with this play on a lot of our stuff where we just add one to the end of things. So we had a game called 1,000,001 Cocos, and so that just made sense that the Cocomons, there's 1001 of those as well. They're dropping tomorrow on Magic Eden. The VIP price is 0.5 AVAX. The standard whitelist price, it's first come, first serve. After the VIP period, it's 0.75 AVAX, and then the remainder will just go into the public round at 1 AVAX. Starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Magic Eden, and if you go to the Launchpad page or our Twitter, you can find all the information there. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, sounds like a great deal. I'm gonna mint it and looking forward to secret utility. But I think I already know what it is.
I don't want to get people's. I don't know.
But yeah, Hammers, do you have more questions? Want to add something?
Yeah, Ben, I know you're like working a lot right now, but in general, like if you're going to play a game, what 3 games you going to play to chill with your friends or like family or whatever? Like what you going to play in general?
This is a good
It
question.
shouldn't be Web3. It's like normally if it's not Web3, but it's good if it's Web3. Yeah, it's every game is good.
No, I have my answer already. Don't worry. It's not even 3 games. I work too much. There's only one game I have time for, and that's chess.com.
Oh, same.
I'm always playing chess.
Bro, I play chess like not all the time, but quite frequently. And sometimes, when I go to sleep and I imagine in my brain how I'm playing chess. Or when I'm
It's a
sitting
good
on the
game.
toilet.
I just, I don't want to, I take some time off, I don't want to be rotting. I want to keep my brain going. So I play a bit of chess.
Yeah,
Oh, Giga Brain talks here. Jay, I know why you been in toilet so long sometimes when you been a kid. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's because of the chess, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta make the moves.
Right.
Moving to the. By the way, I think you're doing the right thing with the mint. Like only 1,000 supply. It's not really big. You're not trying to extract, and the mint price is not big as well. Like 0.5 to the VIP, 0.75 for the guaranteed one public mint price. Compared to meme coin launches that are happening right now on AVAX, so it's pretty fair deal for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, like I said, our mission, our tagline is we want to build the world's most rewarding platform. And that doesn't only mean like getting a lot of upside, but it also means that it's rewarding for people that maybe have less deep pockets as well, so you can still get some good value out of it as well. So we wanted to keep it super fair. It's kind of everything that we're keeping at heart as well. Yeah, but definitely kind of, excited to also use it as a bit of a way to get our name out more in the AVAX space, because we only really committed towards the end of last year. And so again, we kind of know we're newer, but we have big things planned, so we just want to be reasonable and fair and Like I said, we super appreciate all the support. So just want to build from the ground up together with everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, shout out for the follow to Ecorium, and thank you to everyone to watch on Arena as well. We'll have to see more Avalanche people joining here. Walk me through your day, especially before the meet preparations. How does your day look like right now?
That's a good question. So, I actually got in a lot of trouble this week with my fiance because I was working too much. But um, I, I'll walk you through my week this week. On Sunday, I don't even know. Sunday, I was up until 5 a.m. Monday morning, actually, I
Oh,
was working on. We put out this little game called Coco Higher Lower, which is basically just like when you play higher lower with cards. Um, it's basically just that. But if you go on like a streak, you get more points. And then the idea was that once you reach a certain number of points, then you get a whitelist basically. So I was up till 5 a.m. Pushing that, and I deployed that at about 5:12, and then went straight to sleep. But actually, like I kind of wish we did it earlier because people started commenting like, "Oh, this is sweet, play to whitelist," which I thought was actually quite a cool tagline. So I
yeah.
wish we had done that earlier. And then, yeah, I guess typical day, get up. Our team is all over the world. So often a few of the guys have been awake for most of their day before I wake up. So I try to wake up early so they don't have to be up so late. Um, get online, try to like catch up with everything first, make sure everything is going well. Try to get outside for a bit, touch some grass, get some fresh air, go for a walk, maybe hit the gym real quick, and then yeah, kind of come back home and just keep on working on things. So this week it's basically just been go go go. We were up late again
Mhm.
yesterday with Magic Eden, sorting out all the whitelist spots and the mint page and everything. But yeah, shout out Magic Eden actually. Like the team there is great, getting
Yeah.
everything set up for us. And yeah, now we kind of taking a bit of a breath before tomorrow, but really excited for it.
Hey, excited for it as well. And like, I'm curious, how many team members do you have, handling all the mean preparations right now? I remember I've talked to Gio in the past. I'm not sure if he's still a part of the team, but
Hmm.
yeah, curious how many team members do you have?
Yeah, there's six of us, kind of core team, and we have a few others helping
Mhm.
as well, kind of part time and mods and CMs and stuff like that too. Um, so yeah, really, there's kind of been a full team effort for sure. We tried out a few different kind of marketing tactics over this week, and we had, for example, our gaming lead. He's like by profession, he's a game designer, a systems designer. He worked at Riot, at Activision, at Gala. So like a really kind of specialized guy. We had him
Mhm.
all up in our Twitter DMs this week. He was like shooting DMs to people, replying to people, helping us with kind of guerrilla marketing stuff. So we've been all hands on deck, really. Guy is the guy as well that you guys were speaking to.
Yeah.
He was obviously helping a lot. He leads marketing and growth topics, and then even our CTO. We were on a call at one point generating all the images and the metadata, and we had like a 3 hour call or something, like preparing all those last bits. So yeah, it's been a big team effort. I saw another mint that was live at the moment on Magic Eden, and I saw a tweet from the founder, kind of it's where he was explaining how much work goes into this stuff, and it really is a lot. So yeah, shout out to my team and all the teams out there putting in this work, but also more importantly, shout out to everyone that then comes out to show support as well. So takes a village, but it's cool stuff, right? That's why we do it.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what do you think the response from the Avalanche community is so far on your mint and everything? Because since you've moved recently, maybe not so many people found out about you yet, but how do you think they're reacting to it?
It's been positive so far, yeah, and that's been kind of our north star over the last few weeks. We just keep on saying in our kickoff calls, like, okay, what are we going to try this week to get our name out to make people hear us about us more? So stuff like this, super appreciative of you having us on, so we can kind of talk and get our voices out and tell our story a bit. But the
Mhm.
responses have been really good. We actually started like there was this new tactic we tried this week, very kind of guerrilla marketing style, and it went really well. We ended up, speaking with and getting in contact and hearing from a lot of people in the community, and that's partly why
Mhm.
we decided to move over, because I think AVAX has a really really good community.
Yeah.
Um, we're obviously super bullish on the space, and there's some projects doing like really amazing things as well. The team is great, and so yeah, our main mission is just to get the word out. And the last few days, I think we did pretty well. Like we started having some names coming in and commenting on our stuff, and we had in fact, our DMs were just wrecked the whole week. But we had a lot of people reaching out saying like, "Hey, my friend told me about you guys. I also love AVAX. Can I get whitelist?" So we had so many of those DMs
Mhm.
this week.
Bro,
So
it's
I guess
hard.
it's working.
Yeah. That's great though. That's great to see that people are finding out about you. And what do you think about the Mimikon launches though on
Yeah, there's
Avalanche?
obviously been some controversy, right? I think the mechanism of it was super fun, super cool. Like this kind of pre-sale application, and ShameFi is like a really interesting one. My concern is that honestly, we actually considered like after it was before Wink, we considered doing a quick launch of our own, but I don't know, it didn't feel like we'd have much integrity doing that. So we
Yeah.
sat it out, but we definitely kept an eye on it, because I do really commend kind of the community aspect of it, and I think that was super cool across all the different launches. Also, like the artwork and stuff, and I don't know how to describe it, but just I feel like AVAX just has good banter, like some of the comms and the social media posts and stuff like this. I
Mhm.
really liked it. So yeah, we've been keeping an eye on things. We kind of um, been learning some lessons, and then we obviously want to support as well where we can and so on. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to take. Also, some negatives. I think some of them didn't really have a plan at all, and you kind of could see where that ended up. But I
Yeah.
do think like the good parts of it, kind of this community element, getting people on board, getting like your kind of core believers behind you, that's really important,
Mhm.
and that's been awesome to see. And I really I think you can go back on my Twitter. I tweeted like a good number of months ago, being like, "Damn, I think AVAX meme coin season's about to happen," and like it did. I wish I had managed to kind of participate a bit, but it's been cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. I have participated in all the AVAX Mimicoin launches, except for Blab, probably because they didn't let me in for some reason.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it was a great lesson, I would say, because with all the Shamefy board, etc. I think it sucks. I always think that it sucks because shaming people for profits is never great. I would say, but it's a great strategy to keep people, holding, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you think about your competitors? Like Ember, for example, building on Abstract, and they have a bunch of casual games. Do you have any competitors on Avalanche here that are building casual games? And how do you think gonna approach other competitors as well?
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of really good casual gaming stuff happening on all chains. Um, I don't really think we have too much in terms of what we're planning. Obviously, we haven't launched yet, but in terms of what we're planning, we don't really have too much of a one-to-one comparison with anybody in Web3 right now.
Hmm.
Um, the experience that we're trying to build is a bit different from your classic casual gaming. It's more about how's best to describe it. We kind of want to create a new category, is the way that we're talking about it. We haven't published
Hmm.
the term we're going to use about it yet, but it's really kind of more taking the models that are in Web 2 and taking the bits that we think from them would work well in Web3, and then spicing them up a little bit. And in terms of kind of the way that we've planned it, there's not really anything too similar to exactly what we're planning. I know that's a bit of a wishy-washy answer, but the idea is like I said, it's not so much about the games themselves. It's not about learning, oh, I got to do this quest to unlock that, and then that's this progression and blah blah blah. It's not so much of I need to buy this IAP because then I can get this. It's not really about that. It's more about the experience that we're trying to build and the competitive layer on top
Yeah.
of that. And so for that reason, I'd say that there's not too much of a comparison.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Fair enough. And yeah, Hammer Server, do you have any other questions?
Just want to ask Ben, like, actually, when you work so hard, like a preparational meet, like a lot of distraction, how you just find the time for like your family or the training in gym? I remember that you mentioned it, like how it's possible, and are you adding everything on calendar or how it works? Just interesting because like management issue is like the biggest trouble for everyone in the space, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm chronically online. My team always tell me they don't know when I sleep, but it's just because I want to be there for everyone. But no, I mean, look, I was a pro athlete before I went into like my real job. I'm not like I just can't sit still, to be honest. I like the routine and the grind, and if I have like a new training program or whatever, it's kind of the same as building a business, right? You're like, okay, what do I need to execute on to make this happen? And then you're just like a competitor and you go after it type thing. So for me, it's kind of like that. I'm really appreciative of my team. They're also, I think, similar sort of mindset. We kind of speaking of management styles, it's my kind of style is I always just think back to like being on the court, and we kind of run the business in that way too. Like I play basketball, so if someone sets a screen wrong, you say to them like, hey, that was wrong, I don't hate you, it's nothing about you, but do it better next time and let's work harder, and that's kind of the way that we try
Yeah.
to approach things too internally. I don't know how much my friends and family like that though, but it's just how I'm wired. I don't know. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think a lot of teams are out there really, really hustling. So nice to see Bitcoin cross 100K again today. Let's see how stuff goes over the next months, and hopefully, yeah, we keep building on Web3 gaming.
We keep
Yeah, for
building
sure.
no
And
matter on
it's
Bitcoin,
really
right?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin price no matter on gaming, so we keep building like not really moving thing for us in general.
Exactly, but I remember not too long ago being at 20K, and it felt very different to now. And I don't know. Yeah, again, here we are. So it's nice to at least be here. And what is everyone says that Web3 gaming is inevitable. I do genuinely believe that. So we just got to hope macro goes the same way, and yeah, we keep building.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure. And
go.
it's really interesting. You play basketball as well?
Yeah, so I started playing as a teenager, and then
Hmm.
signed semi-pro before I finished school. Um, and then basically I went and got like my law degree, I got a finance degree, was playing the whole time. Then I just wanted to play and only play for some time and just really focus on sport for a bit because I was always doing everything.
Yeah.
And so then I signed pro. Then COVID happened, and obviously every sports league in the world turned off. And so, yeah, I still managed to carry on playing, thankfully. But then at some point, I decided, like, okay, I need to get a real job, as it were, as well. And then I started working at a hedge fund. Started my career at a hedge fund in London, so in TradFi. I was a junior trader. We were trading OTC commodity derivatives, like what you see in the movies with the headsets and lots of screens and people
Hmm.
screaming at each other and stuff like that. And then from there, actually, I got the opportunity to move over into crypto on a
Hmm.
professional level. I'd personally been in crypto for like a long while. But actually, you guys maybe know them, Bitpanda in Europe,
Yeah.
the exchange.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they were building out their institutional exchange, the Pro book. It was called Bitpanda Pro. We got an opportunity to go over there and build it out basically. And then from there, I actually moved on to LimeWire. If you guys remember LimeWire for downloading music back in the day, um,
Yeah.
and maybe you saw that we did a Web3 relaunch. But I was kind of leading all Web3 topics there, so leading our token sale, and we launched a bunch of different blockchain-based products. We listed the token day one on Kraken, Bybit, KuCoin, raised close to $20 million, scaled the token to 1.3 bill FTV at the all-time high. And yeah, launched a bunch of different products along the way too. So thesis was basically we wanted to do, at the time, the only thing that existed in the NFT space was OpenSea for JPEGs. So we wanted to take the LimeWire brand and do OpenSea, but for MP3s, so music NFTs, and do it under the LimeWire brand. So that was kind of core thesis. The markets really kind of tanked right when we went to mainnet, which was really horrible timing. But it was still really cool, you know. We worked with some
Yeah.
super big artists like Nicky Jam and Travis Barker and Soldier Boy and stuff like that, you know. So it was a really cool experience. And then yeah, I really wanted to do my own project on the back of that. And so that's kind of where then I went to start Kokomo.
Yeah, gotcha. That's interesting. And talking about basketball, it's really funny. The reason why I'm so tired today, I've been working the whole week. Every day, 10, 12 hours straight. And like I just woke up today. Basically, my friend tells me, let's go recharge and play some basketball. So I was playing today
Oh, nice.
basketball with like seven of my friends. But when I was in high school, I was playing like professional basketball for like 1 year or so. Not for a long time, but it was really interesting. Like basketball is actually my favorite sport. Your
Nice.
experience, your background is really impressive, by the way. And my question is here, by the way. You're doing paid launch here, paid means, with 1K supply. Is it like to, basically, what's the point of doing paid here in this specific case? Are you guys like trying to raise some small amount, or you guys already found it, or you're bootstrapping? So just want to touch this point as well.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I should have brought this up at the beginning. We raised a smaller angel round about midway through last year as our kind of startup money. It
Hmm.
was really good. We brought in some really good names. Some of them can't name by name for compliance reasons, but we have founders and executives from companies like Layer Zero, The Sandbox, Dow Jones. They're a DAO with DJs like Steve Aoki and Dylan Francis and Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. They put in a ticket. People from Kraken, Critical Kong Capital, SoftBank. Yeah, whole bunch of really cool names we brought in on the angel round.
Hmm.
So that was about midway through last year. That is to get us off the ground, build a team, get some of the first products out, start testing product market fit, kind of where we get to now. And then the reason then we did a bunch of free mints as well along the way, by the way. So like our OG NFT and our welcome NFT. Um, we had, I think, over or close to, if not over 30,000 of our NFTs claimed to date, the free ones as well,
Hmm.
which is pretty nice. Like that's kind of also why we're big on trying to build the IP, because we see that people just they want to collect NFTs and so on. So we want to give it to them. Um, and then yeah, that brings us to this mint now. Reason we made it paid is because well, first of all, we want to demonstrate a bit of traction and we want to really build that kind of core community members.
Hmm.
We've had a load of people come and play our games, and a bunch of people bought some IAPs, and then we did like our real money beta testing and so on as well. And we kind of see that people are willing to spend. And so, yeah, we wanted to build this first collection to make it paid, to really create this. If we want it to be like a VIP members club, you don't get into those for free. It's going to have good perks, it's going to have good utility. So that's why it's paid. It's not like we're gonna make an insane amount of money here on the
Yeah.
price and the supply, but it's more about kind of, like I said, making sure we get the Kokomons into the right homes. And then the plan from here is actually we will raise some more money in the coming months is the plan, to kind of accelerate our platform launch and build out the team a bit more. We've been lean, and we want to bring some more hands on deck so we can go even faster as well. So that's all coming up.
Yep. Gotcha. Sounds great, and appreciate you for the answer as well here. And always looking forward to the meet tomorrow. I'm gonna meet my NFT as well. Looking forward to your TGE too and the launch of the platform. And yeah, Hammers, Eric, do you have any last questions on your side?
Excited to play as a gamer. Excited to meet as a DJ.
Nice. You can 1v1 me as long as you don't beat me.
And Eric, what about you? Any last questions?
No, all good from my side. Good luck with the mint tomorrow, and yeah, we'll beat you and take all your money later down the line.
We'll see about that. No, thanks. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate the support. Like we were saying, we've been talking for a while, so I'm glad to finally have made it onto a session. And yeah, thanks for taking the time and for hearing us out. And hopefully we do this a lot more often and people hear a lot more from us. So appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about us and introduce the project.
Yeah, for sure. And wish you all the best. Good luck. I hope the things will go great. With Magic Eden, with the mint itself, and I'm sure you're gonna sold out because it's quite low supply, low mint price, and like current market conditions as well. Bitcoin is above 100K, so it seems like the best time to launch right now. So you picked the best time basically.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, thanks so much. Yeah, we're excited. We hope it goes well as well, of course. And yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Let's
And
go.
appreciate you to everyone. Appreciate everyone listening today, watching this stream on the arena, especially for the tips, for the follow. Don't forget to meet Kokomo Games tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys next time.
See you.
Thanks,
Peace.
everyone.
Have a easy
See
mint.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Take care.